Hey everybody, welcome to Why Music Matters. My guest today is the bassist, songwriter, band leader, and all-around awesome human being, Karina Rykman. A self-taught bassist and guitarist, Karina started playing in bands in New York City when she was barely a teenager and was touring as a member of legendary keyboardist Marco Benevento's band while still attending college. The stint in Benevento's band prepared Karina for forming her own trio and hitting the road, a period during which she caught the eyes and ears of some major players, among them Phish guitarist and bandleader Trey Anastasio. Last year, Karina released her debut album, Joyride, a dizzying collection of psychedelic, indie, alternative, and jam bass tunes that made my top 10 list of rock albums for 2023. Anastasio co-produced the album and lent his inimitable guitar stylings to half of the tracks. Throughout Joyride, Karina's bass playing reveals the depth and breadth of her musical influences, and her always vibrant, sometimes playful, and occasionally dreamy vocals lead the listener on a journey through her colorful imagination. Listeners in the Buffalo, New York area will be able to catch Karina and her trio as part of the Rail Rider Jamboree Festival on Saturday, March 23rd at Holiday Valley in Ellicottville. You can learn more and grab your tickets at railriderjam.com. Welcome to Why Music Matters, Karina Rykman.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
Karina, what's up?
Yo, great to hear from you. This is great. This is exciting.
How are you doing, man? I'm really I'm excited that you're coming to Buffalo, and I'm hoping it's not going to be freezing out.
Yeah, me too. I just found out that I'm playing outdoors. I'm like, oh shit! Now I got to pack something warm that I can play.
Yeah, you could. Any fingerless gloves might come in handy, but I don't know. You know, it might be 70. I mean, who knows?
Now that would be great. I'm doing real good. I've had a busy little stretch, and it's a lot of I just did 3 shows. In the Northeast and drove back from Boston last night, and now I'm leaving again tomorrow for Boise, and then we're going to play 2 shows in Boise at the Treefort Festival, and then we're going to play up in Buffalo. So literally it's just
run.
New Haven, Portland, Boston, Boise, Buffalo, and then home in the span of a week and a couple days. So it's it's a lot, but it's great, and it's been super fun. I'm just getting my bearings right now. What do I need? I gotta dismantle my big pedal board and put together a fly board, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, and I mean, and you love toys. I mean, for sure, you know, it's a big part of the sound of the trio.
Oh yeah, no, you got to do it. I basically have my sounds that I kind of can't do without.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big part of the record too.
Yeah, totally. No, we're all trying to make it so much larger than the sum of our parts up there. So there's a lot involved to make that happen. So
well, I want to get into that and a little bit and talk about trios a little bit, but I kind of wanted to start by saying, what made me love you right away, besides the fact that you fucking rock, is the way, your music doesn't adhere to a single genre. It's clear how much different music you really love. I wondered if you could talk about, I guess, how being open to so many genres has affected your writing and your record making.
Absolutely. I'd love to. It's, it's both the joy of my life and the bane of my existence. Because, I admire people who, are really good at doing one thing well. You know what I mean? And that's,
AC/DC,
Yeah, like the Ramones.
Like the Ramones, yeah.
Just oh, man, that would be nice. You know what I mean? That's, for me, it's just I'm like the jukebox. I'm like a weird chameleon. I'm like all these things where I like too much. I am turned on by too much. I'm like a music fanatic freak, So that means that when I go to write, I'm not afraid, and to a fault, I'm not afraid of writing a 5-minute long instrumental And I'm not afraid of writing a 3-minute long pop song, and I'm not afraid to go heavy. I'm not afraid to get jazzy. I'm not afraid to, write groove-based music, and I'm not afraid to write lyric-based music. It's all just, sort of an expression of who I am. And I don't know, to me, like, it's almost like more punk than being in a punk band, you know what I mean? Because I'm kind of just like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, literally, good luck, you know what I mean?
I love it.
Try to figure me out, which is also a nightmare for, trying to market something.
Well, but that's not your problem, right? Not when you're making the art. It is, but it isn't, right?
I care more about, doing what's fun for me than I care about marketing a product. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
To me, it's just like, if I'm not, I'd rather be an investment banker than if this isn't going to be about like having as much fun as humanly possible for me.
Yeah.
Then like I'm getting out the business tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just like to me, it's just about having the truest, freest self-expression, and I think that, God bless people, it's resonating with people, so for whatever reason, man, it's going well, and it's, at the end of the day, it's fun music, what I mean? Like, even if I have, like, on my record, there's a lot of, sort of more, talking about a few more profound things and, like, a little more, self-reflective and less just bombastic, like, party music or whatever.
That's definitely in there.
Yeah, it's all in there, but at the end of the day, it's music that's meant for dancing, for rocking out, it's not music for seated audiences at the very least. So
I love it.
When I go to describe it, I'm like, it's not Elvis and Crackers music, you know what I mean? This is for music for uplifting people in more ways than one. You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
The album, I mean, it's like one extended earworm for me. I mean, I love that everything is a hook. The bass line, the groove, the vocal. And the production on the record is so lush and warm, and it's a headphone record to me, And there's this kind of beautiful, like, kind of gauzy but subtle psychedelic vibe, For a really first album, it really sounds so fully developed and actualized. And I mean, I know Trey produced the record, but what was your production conception going in? Because it seems like you knew exactly what you wanted to do.
Thank you, and thank you for the kind words on all that. That means so much, because it's really, I mean, this is all just a product of fucking around and finding out,
Yeah, I love it.
In real time. In real time. But no, I mean, that sort of like pop rock thing drenched in psychedelia that's kind of permeates throughout, even if there's a song like Plants, which is my first single ever, right, which is a 5-minute long instrumental that made its way onto this record because it sort of fit within this world, right? But then you have a song like, I don't know, All That You Wanted, which is much more of a kind of straight ahead song that you don't have to be on 12 hits of LSD to enjoy. And
you can make do with 5
to enjoy Plants. That's not necessary. I'm just saying, like,
I totally get it.
There's this straddling of the lines of like music for lunatics and music for normal people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think these 9 songs, just at the end of the day, I pared it all down and I was like, this is the record. This is going to give, it's both consistent enough throughout and, a little something here and there to keep people guessing, being like, whoa, what's that? Like, oh, shit. Like, damn, she's doing this too? Like, what?
Yeah.
Which, again, these are all choices that we make in our art, right? But I don't know. I like to keep them guessing. Even on the first record, I'm like, yeah, this is it's gonna be a journey. Buckle up, This is, Karina's not gonna give you what you expect, and hopefully there's nothing to expect. You know what I mean? There's only vibe. Vibe is what you can expect. The Karina vibe, and that takes a lot of forms, hopefully. You know what I mean? Like, it takes instrumental forms, and it takes fuzz bass forms, and it takes lush grooves, and all these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was from a production standpoint, I don't know. It was developed over quite a period of time, which is the blessing of, you know, having it be your first record, you know,
Yeah.
and having it be somewhat of a pandemic record too. You know, I was writing a lot of that during a time where, you know, you couldn't even go to a recording studio. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't even do this or that. So I don't know. I think at least I gave myself a lot of time to like be like, I'm a real stickler with lyrics, which is funny because, you know, a lot of my lyrics are just complete silliness and whatever, but like I am like, you know, Trey said something that just stuck with me so hard a while ago, and he just says, you know, words are everything, but you don't have to say anything important. And that is a super liberating thought, you know, because sometimes you go to write words and you just think like, okay, like, time to write my soapbox speech. I have to say some fucking important shit.
Right.
Now,
and then you screw yourself as soon as you think that, you know?
Oh, it's a nightmare. It's a complete disaster once you think that. Even and then, you know, yeah, nothing great for me comes from thinking in those terms, you know. But yeah, man, I don't know. It all unfolded. It all unfolded, and then, you know, slowly but surely, we just put the whole thing together, song by song, and we got the final nine. And then we put a bow on that thing. It was pretty surreal. And now I'm, you know, torturing myself with the next one.
Yeah.
You know, having all these thoughts and all of these, you know, sort of, you know, what's a good... That's the thing. Like, you're not... When you're me, you're not like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to write, you know, this very straightforward one thing that I do kind of record. You know what I mean? I'm just like open to all these possibilities, but I'm enjoying that. It's good for me. And I'm you know, once I get back from this little, you know, leg of tour, I'll have actually a little time off to like really dive deep, which will be really good. So yeah, man, the road goes on.
It does. I'm wondering how much New York, like, you know, kind of growing up the way you did, might have played into this sort of, you know, idea of, well, fearlessness, first of all, but also like loving so many different genres, you know, because what a place to hear so many different things. Totally.
I mean, you know, I feel like this is a silly example, maybe. Actually, it's not. It's a fucking awesome example, but the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
It's like... The Beastie Boys are like maybe the closest thing to my DNA. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Like, I listen to Beastie Boys and I'm like, I'm home. Like, this is it. These, you know, the three bad brothers you know so well. I know every word. I know every nuance. And just like, I don't know, from a sampling perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Where like,
Paul's Boutique, baby.
That's it, man. That's what it is. But even, you know, License to Ill, like, you know, you hear these Zeppelin and Sabbath samples right off rip, you know, and then you hear these guys rapping over them. And so automatically, when you're, you know, 9 years old or whatever, and you're hearing this and it does something for you, you're turned on to Sabbath, you're turned on to Zeppelin, and you're turned on to fucking old school New York hip hop, you know, like
in one go.
In one go, and then you dive deeper and you get so much old school funk and jazz and incredible 70s soul, all of it, all wrapped up in a Beastie Boys package, you know?
Yeah.
So,
there are great examples.
Said this in an interview, man. I've never even said it out loud. Like, you know, I think we just uncovered something that's really true, which is that. Literally, like, that's so much of my, I don't know, my musical DNA is wrapped up in the Beastie Boys.
I love that. I love it. What's your favorite album?
Oh my God! Like, literally, like, that's like picking a favorite child. I don't know. It's
no, I'm just of theirs. I mean.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even in that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I know what you meant, man. You know, I'm gonna just say, just because it was the first one I heard, and it was, you know, it kind of set the tone. You know, I'm gonna say License to Ill, just because, you know, if you're not down with License to Ill, you're not gonna be down with Hell I'm Nasty. You're not gonna be down with. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That was the fearlessness. That was them being young and dumb and ready to go, and you hear it. They're just like, fuck it, like, this is us, man, like, this is what we do, you know?
I love it. And it, you know, it's life affirming, and it doesn't age.
It doesn't age. It doesn't age. That's the beauty, and that's, I don't know. I got to see the last Beastie Boys show ever at Bonnaroo 2009.
Amazing.
I was 15, and it was just like, we didn't know then that it would be the last show ever, but it was one of those things where, the fact that it sort of ended there, and they brought out Nas, and it was just like the greatest. I was losing my mind. I have vivid memories of being front row for Intergalactic, and just being like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me, but I don't know. Yeah, those guys are ageless. They're timeless. They're ageless. And the music, I can go a week or two without listening to it, and then I'll turn on a Beastie Boys record and be so stoked.
Well, Jen Brazil, who's the one who booked you, she does this Rail Rider Jamboree and everything. She was telling me the story, which I hadn't heard before, but about the Rush troll who tried to come at you and how quick you shut him down. And I just, after the Beastie Boys, okay, I love this even more knowing that how you feel about that. But is Getty an influence on you? Did you grow up with that?
Oh, just a little bit. A little bit. I mean, come on. In a huge way. Did you see the video? You saw the video? It's a good one, man. It was my first ever thing to quote unquote go viral, and I was like, wow, is this what it's like?
Hilarious.
And Rush, saw it and wrote to me, and Getty sent me his book of bass and wrote me a whole nice little thing in there, and
he's a sweetheart. He really is a sweetheart.
It's out of control. No, I mean, I was being coy before, but it cannot be understated how much of an influence Rush is on me, and not just Getty, Alex too. And Neil,
he's my guy. Yeah, Alex is my guy as a guitar player. I mean, that's what ruined me for life, for sure.
I know, you and me both. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing, and I know it was just fucking funny, just because I don't really make videos like that, also, it's literally, I was just so incensed, and I was like, wow, this is so funny. If only this guy knew he was talking to, a girl who, plays bass in a power trio and is so fucking into Rush. He's just, barking up the wrong tree right now.
Big time.
Yeah, so that was great. And that video brought a lot into my life. It sort of went viral in the right circles in a lot of ways, and including Brian Fallon from the Gaslight Anthem started following me and wrote to me and whatever, right around then, just because of that video. And now we're super good pals, and we just recorded. I just recorded on a Gaslight Anthem tune that comes out on Friday. Actually.
You're kidding me? That's so cool. That's news to me.
It's a cover, but yeah, and I'm a big fan, and he's a wonderful human. So I don't know. I was like, damn, if that is one of the things to come out of this Rush virality, it's pretty fucking awesome. So
that is so cool. But also, I mean, as a leader of a trio that is doing a lot, there's a lot going on. When I just watched a show of yours from the Palace Theater in Albany.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, reproducing this perfectly. It's not like you sound like Rush, but it brings to mind, that's what you expected when you saw them. All this was going to come out of 3 people.
That's awesome. I super appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah,
but is that the paradigm for you? I mean, is that sort of we'll do this as a trio?
I love doing it as a trio for many. Well, first of all, my 2 dudes.
They're insane. They're so good.
Since day one, they're my guys. It's not. I know the name of the band is my name, but it's us. It's the 3 of us. It's the way we talk to each other through our instruments, and also the way we laugh our ever-loving brains out at every occasion,
So necessary.
And that's Adam November and Chris Corsico, respectively. And, so I don't know, for me, at least at this current juncture, doing everything we can to reproduce the production on the records and, make it larger than the sum of our parts, but, just still be 3 people. That means that Adam is doing so much. Chris is doing so much. I'm doing so much. We're all triggering samples and doing this and doing that and just literally just trying to be big, man. We're trying to be like, and I don't mean like famous, I mean like sonically big.
Oh yeah, no, mission accomplished, because
oh good. So who's to say that if I could afford it, I would add a keyboard player and who knows what else, you know what I mean? But I don't see that happening anytime soon, and I love the format, and I just love the synergy that we have, and I think it's important and invaluable, to find people like that you want to play with and communicate with on a subliminal level.
Yeah, the deepest level.
Ridiculous.
And that you can hang with on the bus,
Oh my God, yeah. Well, bus, I mean, come on. Once I have a bus, I can get a keyboard player, all right?
Okay, the van.
There you go. No,
I've been there, I know.
Oh, baby. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing, and thanks for saying,
Yeah, the band is outstanding, and just such a great use of technology in a really human way, and also
that means a lot because we try to do that.
That's completely happening. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this in person live, not on YouTube, but yeah, I mean, and also the way the presence of the bass in the mix, like I'm always listening to records going, the bass isn't loud enough, I mean, it's everything.
Me too.
I mean, like, even in Motown records, like, the bass was cranked. Even Beatles records, McCartney was really loud, Yes or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, Rush. And I like that prominence that, the sonic space left for the bass to really root you to the music. You totally got that going on, and I love it.
Oh, good. That's great to hear. That's a result of me being like, hey, it's not redlining. You got to clip it, man. You got to clip it. Come on, keep it going.
I'm so with you on that. And not fake sub bass either, like real bass.
I mean, all the above.
All of it. Yeah, no, nothing against subs. Totally.
Hey, listen, sometimes you got to layer a little of that in to really get it where you want to get it. I got no qualms about that. Joyride's got sub bass all over it.
Oh, it totally does. And again, on the headphones, oh my God, it's just such a delight.
Thank you.
It's so much ear candy.
The bottom end, yeah. I mean, the bottom end is a good place to be. It's
it's what's up.
Those asses to shake, man. We gotta shake the asses and rattle brains. That's what we're doing out here.
Yeah.
It's a special thing, and I play guitar too, and I grew up.
Do you write on guitar?
Oh yeah.
I thought so. That was a guess.
Sure. And I play a lot of a lot of that record, is Trey, and a lot of it's Adam, but I'm in there playing guitar too, like the jangly, like, chords on Joyride and stuff.
Yeah.
That's all me, and I don't know, I'm all over there. Like, we kept plenty of my guitar playing on the record, just because, I don't know.
Well, that's where the changes are coming from. No, I kind of guess something. She's writing this either on guitar or piano, but I guess guitar.
Sure. Well, I also there's also a very important fourth member of the band whose name is Gabe Monroe, who is my other producer, who I've written almost every song with. And he is the greatest bass player that I know.
Oh, wow.
As well as being the nastiest producer. He's ridiculous and an incredible songwriter and just an incredible ear on this guy. And so when we sit down, either I'll have a guitar, he'll have Ableton push, about this, or you can just you can use MIDI to just, you're doing all kinds of stuff, but it's basically a keyboard,
Yeah,
anyway,
totally, yeah.
All of the above, and he's just, I don't know, he's an amazing human, first of all, and secondarily, just an incredible musical ear, that I'm so lucky to have in my corner, and we write a ton together, and I'm very excited to get back in the room with Gabe, as well as with my band, and just kind of fuck around and see what sticks, after this next little, leg of festivals and whatever. I'll have a good amount of April to dial that all in. So really looking forward to that, and, and writing the next batch of tunes. So that's very exciting.
That's what I'm wondering, because you've been touring behind the record since it came out, intermittently, but a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, how have the songs grown and evolved playing them live? Because I know they have. And I'm wondering, how has that affected what you want to do with the next record? Because I know you're thinking about it, right?
Oh, I'm thinking about it. I'm working on it. Yeah, I feel like I said earlier, I'm like driving myself crazy in all the good ways, you know, and you know, it's like a torment of love.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh man, this is intense, you know, the sophomore record, holy shit, now there's something to like compare it to the first one, you know. It's an intense feeling. But yeah, I mean, everything you said is right on, because we've been sort of, you know, relentlessly and intermittently touring this since it came out, right?
Yeah.
And now basically the whole country. I mean, obviously not every single state, but like, you know, West Coast, East Coast, South, Texas, Midwest, Northeast, blah, 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 you know, all of it. Colorado, you name it. But it's interesting. Like now, I don't know, and I listen to a lot of interviews just with like, you know, my favorite. I'm into interviews. It's like a thing. I definitely like listening to, you know, people I admire or don't talk about.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
You know, and so I don't know. I heard someone recently just be like, you know, we wanted to write songs that were fun to play for big audiences. You know, and that's what we did. We sat there and we're like, all right, like what's going to be fun to play for a rocking crowd? And that's sort of where my head's at this particular moment. That could be different tomorrow. But, you know, because sometimes I'm like, I need to write, you know, something that's super, you know, emotionally vulnerable that, you know what I mean? Like we go through phases. And by the way, those two things can not, you know, they don't have to be, you know, two separate things, obviously.
Right.
But
no, they're not mutually exclusive.
No, not at all. But anyway, you know, I'm thinking, and you know, I think it's just from being a road dog all these years and being, you know, I'm not a studio rat. I'm a road dog at the end of the day. Like that's where I come from. I come from the live space. I don't come from the songwriting space. So like for me, when I'm writing, I'm thinking about how it's going to translate live constantly.
Yeah.
So for better or for worse, that's where my head's at most of the time. And you know, kind of trying to hybridize the two worlds again and you know, see, hopefully I make another headphone record too. That you said, like, you know, that's definitely top of mind. It's just, it's a crazy feeling when you have something to compare it to. Do you know what I mean? Like now I'm like, okay, so like Joyride, I think Joyride's a great song. Sometimes when I come out there and I play Joyride, I'm like, damn, like, this is a song that could be on the radio.
Totally. You know, I mean, if there was
jam on, you know, like again, like you don't. This isn't for lunatic people. This is a song that like is a song. You know what
definitely.
I mean? So like, I sometimes I'm playing it and I'm like, damn, we wrote this song. That's sick. Like, you know, and then I'll be writing other tunes and I'll be like, it's just not as much of a song as Joyride is, you know what I mean? Or like, I don't know, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing, and you're also so critical, you know, of your own work and stuff. So I'm just like, fuck, all right, well, you know, songs are like days of the week, man. Time to write another one. Let's just keep it going.
That's right. That's right. And you know, another day, another new idea, you know, another chance.
All of it. You just got to be super persistent. So, you know, I think that's the key to all this. I'm one fucking persistent motherfucker, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you rock. Well, you know, I don't know Trey, but I've been lucky enough to interview him a few times, and in addition to being a complete lord to me, he also seems like the kindest, most down-to-earth guy you could ever meet. So, I mean, what did it mean to you when he took a personal interest in your music? And, you know, I mean, that's got to be a pinch me thing, kind of.
Beyond, there's not. I mean, realistically, Jeff. I mean, there's sort of not another living musician for whom it would mean more.
So cool, like, dude! It's so cool.
Like I don't know. As I stand before you today, you know, your girl Karina has seen 143 Phish concerts. I mean, It's not like I haven't spent an overwhelming amount of my life, you know, since I was 15, seeing this music and being embraced, you know, by the fans and the culture, and you know, even I don't know. not that this was Mike actually, but like, you know, just I was thinking about the sound check at Madison Square Garden that they had me for, you know, in 2018, like just stuff like that, like that nobody gets to do. And
so cool.
Trey just taking an interest, like the whole thing, and just being such a good mentor. And you know, I feel like I could call Trey any time of day or night, and he would just be like, dude, you know, and then we, you know, he just wants to go deep. He wants to answer questions. He wants to not, I don't know. He cares so much. He's the most humble, genuine human who's so, you know, he works harder than anyone, you know.
It's ridiculous.
He does. He knows, and like that's an inspiring thing. He says Springsteen is like that too. He says that Springsteen, like, you know,
really is that guy. He really is that guy.
He thinks it could all go away tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's there. He's doing it. He's doing it every day. And Trey is doing it every day. If I could be anywhere close to as disciplined as he is when it comes to writing, like he's writing every day, show day or no. Like that's a part of his daily life. And it should be a part of all writers' daily lives.
Yes,
you know? But
it's hard to make that work. Yeah, it's hard.
Well, I would be lying if I told you it was a daily part of mine when I'm on the road and exhausted, and you know, like it's something I'm striving for, but I haven't gotten there yet. You know, but that's, you know, talk about how amazing it is to have a person like that that's in your corner that you can call and be like, dude, I have writer's block. What are you doing? Like, what do you got? Like, you know, and he's just like, oh, yeah, or whatever. You know, it's an incredible thing, and you know, I could literally never repay him for all he's given me.
It's so awesome.
And it's not lost on me for a second. You know, so it's.
What does he say about right? Is he say, oh, just play through it? Like, is that his answer for writer's block?
This guy gets up every day at the crack of dawn and has more voice memos in his phone than like for every day of just ideas, little this, little that, riffs, songs, words, you know, chords, whatever it might be. He does that every day, and he will sit there and show you, and be like, this was this morning, and you're seeing like 6:04 a.m., 6:14 a.m., 6:22 a.m. Like literally, he's just doing it. He's just doing it and doing it and doing it, and you know, he's that's fucking, thank God he's that guy, you know.
I know.
Thank God he's that guy, because we all get to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Big time. And like, you know, what an inspiration to all of us who've chosen this life, you know.
I know. Not only that, he also, I think, beyond being, you know, one of the greatest guitar players to have ever lived, which he is, you know, and
no
being
doubt.
You know, a songwriter who has, you know, written, I forget the number, but what is it? Like, it's like over 500 original compositions. Like, he's got some absolutely astronomical number of songs to his name, right? So all of that said, his real superpower in this lifetime is the ability to get people around him stoked and feel good and excited about what he's excited about. And that goes for his band, that goes for anyone he comes in contact with. He is the guy who will be like, oh, yes, and also this and that and that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just has this ability. He has this ability to do that with everyone in his life. And I think, especially with the bands, you know, he's the guy coming in being like, guys, I have this crazy idea.
Yeah.
This is why we should be stoked on it, you know? And they're like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
You know, like, yeah. And that, I think that speaks volumes about the type of guy he is. And, you know, I don't know. I like to think I have a bit of that in me as well, but, you know, nowhere near the amount that he does. And I think it's an incredible trait, you know, and it's the same, but like, you know, when I walk into a restaurant or I walk out of a coffee shop or I walk, whatever, like any space that I'm in where you get to interface with the public, of course, obviously concerts, and, you know, I'm way into going to the merch booth after the show. I'm way into meeting people. I'm
awesome.
Like, I'm all about that shit. You know what I mean? But you want to leave people with a good feeling. You want to leave people better than they found you. You know what I mean? That's important to me, and that's sort of everything. to me. Like, when whether you're doing that through music or with just, walking into a doctor's office with a smile on your face and, cracking a stupid joke, whatever it is, I think that that's the spice of life now. I just do.
I love it. And that comes through in your music, which is, well, Joyride is a great name. You know what I mean? It's that sort of synesthesia thing, right? Like, oh, this is what this music should all be called, because it takes you on that kind of sonic journey, but it's also like, I don't know, I feel, it's not like listening to The Cure, you know what I mean, which is also brilliant or whatever, but with this, I'm like, I just feel like I can get some shit done today, and this music is going to help me do that, you know what I mean? It puts me in headspace to create or grind or whatever it is that needs to be done, Oh,
I love that. That means so much to me. Thank you, dude.
Well, and it's great to have albums like that in your life,
Big time.
For all of us.
I have many of them, Yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing. I know. That's why I was like, damn, I kind of, talk about words don't, words are everything, but you don't have to say anything important. I was like, damn, Joyride, fuck. Like, I already got my all-encapsulating word. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was it. I got it. Like, fuck. Now what's the next word? What's the next thing? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like you're perpetually searching for that thing. Because that's the thing, man. Like, it's not, I don't do this to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be able to keep doing this, And most of all, I kind of want to, it's to be understood in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Or to try to understand yourself, or to try and just,
both those things.
All of it, which hopefully, I think hopefully other people feel the same way, in themselves. You know what I mean? It's the whole thing.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. Fuck yeah.
And it keeps cycling back around. You give it out, you get it back, you give it out again.
I think so.
That's what's up.
Believe in that.
Oh, I definitely do. I read something where you referred to the role of the musician, like in the live setting, as being energy transfer units, which I thought was so awesome, but enjoying something together in the same moment in time and space. I love that. Can you talk about that sort of magical interchange that happens on a great gig,
Certainly, and that's another thing that I so firmly believe in that, and that it permeates so far beyond the band. It's the energy transfer units. Like, we're the ones making the sounds, but like, it's the dissolving between audience member and performer that happens, or that I'd like to have happen. And that's when we're all in this together, and the room is not based on, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you believe in. I care that we're all here together right now to share in a groove together right now. And you don't have to talk to anybody, and you don't have to be cool, and you don't have to be anything. You just have to dance.
Yeah, you just got to exist.
Just exist. Just exist for a little bit. I think that's the best therapy that there is, and I know the bands that have done that for me over the years, and I know what it means to me, to be in a space like that, and to be any small part of creating a vibe like that for other people is beyond words for me. So I don't know. I feel like the energy transfer unit's like, it comes from out of the three of us and out of the crowd, and it meets in the middle, and that's why I think, the whole, like, musician on a pedestal type thing, like, I don't like that. I don't, like, that's not important to me. Like, it's about us. It's about doing this together. It's about, it's about energy. And an exchange of good energy. And, like, I'm the one, writing the songs and singing them for you, but, like, you're singing them back to me. You're a part of it just as much as I am.
Yes, you're making this kind of the circle completing,
Totally. And, being on an even playing field with the people who are there to experience it is fucking awesome. And it's just it's a beautiful thing.
Well, there's your next Joyride title, Energy Transfer Unit.
Oh, man, if only it was a prettier...
I know, it's a little, I guess it's a little awkward, but it's awesome.
I gotta work that out, but I like the concept. The concept's there.
It's totally there. Awesome. Well, Karina, it's really cool to talk to you, and I can't wait to see you this weekend. we're going to make you feel welcome, and we'll indulge in some of this energy transfer. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait, Jeff. Thanks so much for having me, and be sure to introduce yourself when we're there.
Absolutely. I'll come say hi at the merch booth.
Please do.
Hell yeah. Please do. All right, well, travel safe till then, and thank you so much for the time and the energy and the music.
My pleasure. Thank you for the lovely questions. Really appreciate it.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Bob.
Peace.
Bye.
Don't forget, you can see Karina Rykman and her awesome trio at the Rail Rider Jamboree Festival this Saturday, March 23rd in Ellicottville, New York. And you can get your tickets at railriderjam.com. Make sure to check out Karina's album, Joyride, which you can find wherever you get your music. Thanks for listening, everybody. Till next time.